Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Madison, and you probably are new here because this is only my second video on this channel. We are going to be talking about the 24 books that I want to read in 2024. I want to read more than 24 books, obviously, but these are like kind of the ones that are, this is all on my physical TBR or ones that I want to buy that are not anticipated releases, because I will be doing a 2024 anticipated releases video, so we're just going to talk about new releases in that one, and then I'm also going to be doing a video on 24 Kindle Unlimited books I want to read in 2024, so we won't be talking about any Kindle Unlimited books today, unless these just happen to be on Kindle Unlimited, which now that I'm thinking about it, one might be on there, but in general, this is not going to be Kindle Unlimited recommendations. We're going to do that in a whole different video. Now that I've told y'all that, let's go ahead and get started. These are no particular order. I pulled them off of my shelf and just sat them down, so I don't know when I'm going to read them throughout the year, and I have no particular order except that I just took them down and placed them out here. The first one that I'm going to be talking about actually is a new release. I think it was released sometime in January, and that is A Fragile Enchantment by Allison Saft. Is that how you say her name? I'm not really going to be talking a lot about the synopsis of each of these books because since I've never read them, I don't really know too much about them. I feel the most that I can remember is she's a seamstress, I believe, and she's working on a wedding dress and she falls in love, I guess, with this guy is what I'm assuming. That was my first one. I do think I am going to get to this one pretty soon because I kind of wanted to read it in the Valentine's Day season. Valentine's Day is my favorite holiday, so I'm very excited to be reading some romance and love stories. This is like a romantasy, I believe, so I also love fantasy, so it's a good mix for Valentine's Day. Also, I'm really hoping that I counted the books right. If I did not, forgive me y'all, I'm blonde, okay? My second book is from Book of the Month, and it's First Lie Wins by Ashley Elston. It's a mystery thriller, and I think both of the main characters are living secret lives, but I could be wrong about that. I read the first chapter and it was literally just them talking about hanging out with their friends, so I don't know too much about this book either, but I am excited to get into it. I feel like it's gonna be like a really good one. I've never read anything by this author, so we shall see what I think. My third book is Lightlark, and that's really tough for me to say, I don't know why, by Alex Astor. I'm so sorry if I pronounce any of these names wrong. Again, it's like 9 o'clock at night while I'm filming this, so hence why I have my tea to keep me going, so just bear with me, y'all. I picked this one up because I actually saw the book on TikTok, and it was the author's TikTok page. She was signing these. I went and looked it up, and I believe this is gonna be a 5-star read for me. I'm hoping anyways. I also really like how the pages look with this little like detailing. Very excited to start this. The next book is another fantasy, and it's Shadow Fallen by Sherilyn Kenyon. And I don't know anything about, I read the synopsis, thought it sounded cool. I picked it up out of the bargain spot at Books A Million, so I don't know, it sounded really cool. Can't remember what it's about now, but yeah, it's a fantasy. Thought this one looked really cool, and it was like $7, and how can you just not pick up a cool looking book when it's only $7? The next one I have is Bunny by Mona Awad. I love rabbits, and I know this book is not about rabbits, but it sounded really interesting. I picked it up a while ago and I just haven't been able to get around to it. I plan to read it during like Halloween because I want to believe that it's maybe a murder. As Samantha plunges deeper and deeper into the bunny's world and begins to take in their monstrous experiments, the edges of reality begin to blur. Soon her friendships with Ava and the bunnies will be brought into a deadly collision. So maybe a thriller, murder, I'm not sure, but I also just really like the pink covers. So now my next book is a very popular book that a lot of people have already read, but I have not, and that is Iron Flame by Becky Yarros. I'm currently reading Fourth Wing and I'm really enjoying it, so I'm excited to get to the second book, but I know a lot of people said that they didn't love it. My friend told me that it's a lot of world building, but I don't really mind world building, so I think I might like it. But this is like a thick book right here, so that's gonna be a long read, but I think it'll be exciting. I think the world building will actually be pretty interesting, but we shall see. Next is One of Us is Next is One of Us Is Next by Karen McManus. Sorry, I couldn't see because it has the little Barnes & Noble sticker on the front of it. I have read one of her other books. I think I read One of Us Is Lying, I believe is the one I read, and I really liked it. This is a YA mystery. I'm excited to continue on with the series. I don't know if they actually connect or not. If they do, I'm not going to remember it because I haven't read I read the other book like 2 or 3 years ago. This has been sitting on my bookshelf and I just have not picked it up yet because I have to be in the mood for like a mystery and I just haven't been in the mood, but I am kind of feeling in the mood soon, so maybe I'll read this soon. The next book is Famous for a Living by Melissa Ferguson. The only thing I know about this one is that it is a romance between like a country guy who is not, I don't even think he has social media, and an influencer, and this just seems so cute and I'm excited to read it. I don't know if it has any spice in it. I think this might be a clean read, which will be nice change of pace for me since I don't love spicy books. My next one, right as I said I don't love spicy books, is from Blood and Ash. I have read one chapter, that's why I have a little bookmark in it. I will be reading this one soon because I'm gonna read some more of it tonight actually. I have heard great things about this series and I wasn't gonna start any new series, but then I don't know, I picked this one up at Target and I was like, it just sounds really good. I don't know too much about it, but so far the first chapter has been good. And yeah, so this is on my 2024 list because I'm reading it, but it would have been on here anyways even if I hadn't started it. And since I've only done one chapter, I felt like it was okay. Next book is another one that I feel like I just can't believe I haven't read since everybody talks about it, but it is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. And like I said, I have to be in kind of a mood for a murder mystery, but I am in the mood for this one, so this is probably what is going to be next. So when I do my 2024 wrap up, we're gonna know that I've read this book already, because I was gonna say let's see which ones I actually read, but I know this is gonna be on there because I'm reading it with my friend, so we're excited to get started on this book. My next one is a very old book, and that's the Poldark by Winston Graham. This is the first one in this series. This book was like published, I think in, it was like 1945. Yes, it was originally published in 1945, but this edition is the 2009 paperback, but it does have a TV series. I don't know too much about this. I just read the book, the back of the book, while I was in the bookstore, and it sounded good, and I think it's a pretty long series, so if I like it then I'll buy the rest of the series. If not, we'll just get through this one book and be done with it. Next is another series that this is the first book and I'm excited to start it, and that is The Witcher, The Last Wish. So this is the first book of the Witcher series. How many books are in it? 8 books in this series, so I don't think I'll probably finish this series this year if I like this, but I am starting it, so that is exciting. And I know a lot of people have said that the TV show is good. And I tried to watch the TV show. I think I just kind of watched it in passing and it seemed a little scary, but my tolerance for scary books is higher than my tolerance for scary TV shows and movies. So we shall see if I like this and if I continue with the series. The next book that I have, I keep saying the next book and I'm sorry, that's getting repetitive, but is The Sword Catcher by Cassandra Clare. I have heard not much about this book, so it will be interesting to read kind of going in blind. I actually prefer to go in blind with my books. That's just me personally, because not that you'll get like spoilers, but sometimes like people say things that you just didn't want to know until you're reading the book. So I don't know anything about this. I picked it up at my used bookstore and I'm very excited to read it, get immersed into this world. Next is one that I know you have heard about, and that is Divine Rivals. I think everybody and their brother has read this except for me, and everybody I've never heard a person say anything bad about this book. All I know is that it's 2 people that are writing letters to each other. This is on Kindle Unlimited. I did not know when I bought that from Book of the Month, but I only had like it was $5 because I did the like sign up, get your first hardcover for $5. So then we have Forging Silver into Stars by Bridget Kimmer. I'm not sure. I'm so sorry. I have no idea. But this is part of a series and I'm very excited to start. Like, I just got this a couple of weeks ago and I'm like craving starting it. I have seen not this like recommended like in book videos, but I've seen it like in people's pictures or like Instagram reels, and like I'll just see the cover of it. So I'm thinking it might be good, because why would they include a not good book? And I think it got good reviews on Goodreads. Again, I just picked this up in the bargain section at Books A Million. And the last but definitely, my pile of books just fell over. Last but definitely not the least is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I am so excited to read this. I love the Court of Thorns and Roses series. I did DNF Crescent City, but that is because it had the modern elements. It's more of an urban fantasy and that was not for me. So I am, which I might go back to it one day, but for now I'm going to start on Throne of Glass because I've heard amazing things about it. And I decided to go this route instead of Assassin's Blade just because I wanted more of the element of surprise compared to starting with Assassin's Blade and getting like the backstory. I don't know if I will finish this series this year, but I would like to try to. So that is it for my physical books. Now let's go into the books that I don't own currently, but I would like to buy or borrow. I actually own this book, but I don't have it with me because I'm letting my friend borrow it, and that is Iron Gold by Pierce Brown. I actually finished Morningstar this morning, and so I've read the Red Rising trilogy, and this is the next book, so I'm hoping to be able to get to it this year so I don't forget what happened, because honestly I struggled a little bit with the trilogy of just knowing what was going on. So we shall see, but hopefully get to that. Now, these are books that I had to buy. The next book is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett. I just love the book cover and I've heard only good things about it, so I can't wait to read that. The next one is a romance. It's Night Shift by Annie Crown. All I know is that it's I want to say it's a college athlete and then a college student who works in the library at like, I think in like the graveyard shift. That's all I know about it. It looks like a really cute cover, and I just am like, I just love when the main character like works in a library or a bookstore. That's just kind of like my favorite thing, so I'm excited to pick that one up. The next one is The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. Someone explained this book on their like 2023 reading wrap up, and it sounded very intense. Like it was very long. It's a very thick book, and she tried to explain it like minimally, and I can't even remember what it was now, but it sounded very interesting and very like engaging, so I want to pick that up at some point. But like I said, it's a very long book, so we'll kind of see when I actually get around to that, or if I get around to it. Next is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I've heard so many good things about this and I feel I left out a loop, so I want to pick it up so I can feel like I know what everybody else is talking about. Next is Butcher and the Blackbird by Brian Weaver. I mean, serial killer romance? That sounds so good. Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. So that is the first book. Like, I looked up how to read Robin Hobb's books because I know she has a lot of them, and everybody raves about Robin Hobb and I feel like I'm missing out on something. So I looked it up. That's the first one you're supposed to read. So that is the one that I am gonna read and get started on like a Robin Hobb journey, because I really think I'm missing out here. And the actual last book is The Last Unicorn by Peter S. Beagle. I don't know too much about this book except that I do think you're like literally following around a unicorn. Like, that's the main character of the book, and everybody says it's good and I like the cover, so I figured I would pick it up and see what I thought, because that would be a very different fantasy than I'm used to reading, so I wouldn't mind checking out. Alright friends, so that is the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, I hope you stick around and make sure you come back for my 24 Kindle Unlimited books that I will be reading in 2024, and also my anticipated new releases of 2024. And that is it, and I will see you in my next video. Bye friends.